Hey everyone, it feels like a long time since I've made a video, and that's why I have several videos for you guys today. The first one I'm going to do is a book review. Hopefully I'm going to make this pretty quick. This is going to be a book review of Barchester Towers by Anthony Trollope. I don't want to give away too much about the synopsis of this book, because it's the second in a series, but basically this is a continuation from The Warden, and it's set in the same place, which is Barchester, which is set in Barset, because this whole series is called The Chronicles of Barset, and yeah, it continues on with the same characters, and there's new characters involved, and yeah, I don't really know what to say about the synopsis without spoiling what happens in The Warden, but anyway, I'll just talk about the reasons why I loved this so much. I will also talk a little bit about The Warden, but I'm going to talk about that, actually, yeah, I'm going to talk about that one in my August wrap-up, because I don't want to do a whole video on that one, and I want to leave this video to talk about this, but anyway, one thing that I realized when I was reading The Warden is how much I love Trollope's writing. That book, it was very interesting because people, there were some booktube ladies whose reviews of The Warden I had looked at before I read it, and the only one that I know of who actually liked it, or at least liked it far more than the others, is Katie from BooksandThings. The other reviews I saw said that it was fine, but pretty boring, or they just didn't like it at all, depending on the person. And yeah, so I was very worried going into that, but I ended up loving it because Trollope's writing was just, oh my gosh, the writing is what really grabbed me. And again, I'll talk more about that in my wrap-up when I talk about The Warden, but that is basically continued on beautifully in this. It's the same thing. Trollope makes these beautiful allusions to history and literature and mythology and the names of people in this. There's a couple in here called the Quiverfuls, and they are called that because they have 14 children, and that is just really, really great to me. It's fantastic. And then there's another couple called the Proudies. But the interesting thing is that I don't consider Mr. Proudie to be, like, all that proud, I guess, because they're called the Proudies because they're supposed to be proud. But really, it's just his wife who is, like, she's just crazy. But yeah, she's very proud, and that's why they're called the Proudies. But with him, I didn't really see that much. And it was funny because in the TV series adaptation of this, the man who plays Bishop Proudie is the same man who plays Hyacinth's husband in Keeping Up Appearances. If you guys, I don't know what of my viewers watches British TV, but yeah, Keeping Up Appearances, it's the same actor who plays Hyacinth's husband in that, and so I just feel really bad for him because he seems, my grandmother said he seemed to get stereotype cast for playing kind of meek men with, like, very not crazy, very controlling wives, I'll put it that way. So yeah, that was interesting. But yeah, I loved a lot of the characters. It was interesting with this because there were more characters I felt like for me to dislike, and this was one that was different from The Warden in the sense that there was a family in Barchester Towers called the Stanhopes, who, in the beginning, my opinion of them was, in the very beginning, I thought they were great, and then as the story went on, I was like, I don't know if I like them so much, and then at the end, I ended up really liking at least two of them, Madeline and Birdie. Charlotte, I just was very kind of indifferent to towards the end, but I guess I liked her a little bit, so I don't know. I ended up liking the Stanhopes at the end of this, which was just interesting, because I never had that character journey with anyone from the Warden. But yeah, the interesting thing about this is that there were more characters for me to dislike than in the Warden, but I mean, I guess that's better. Excuse me, sorry, because I guess that's better because then in the Warden I really liked all of the main characters except for one, and then I was indifferent to another one, but yeah, so this was a bit more character challenging for me, which I actually liked, and what else? Some of the characters I just completely loved. Like in the Warden, I really loved pretty much everyone in the Bold family, and I mean, not the Bold family, the Bold and the Harding families, and then those characters are carried over into Barchester Towers, so I still really loved them. There was some frustration with this book because there's a situation that Eleanor gets into. You'll know who she is when you read The Warden and then start this, but there's a situation that she gets into where you're just like, I can't believe that this is happening. But the good thing, the difference between the book and the show, with the show, like, okay, what I like about books in particular is that sometimes if the author wants, they can straight up tell you not to worry about stuff, and that's what Trollope does, which I really, really love. I saw the film version, the TV series, first, not the entire thing. I think I watched a couple episodes, then read a great chunk of the book, then watched a couple episodes, then read a great chunk of the book. But I saw a couple episodes of the TV series first, and what this TV series does not do is, you know, you don't get the author's perspective because, you know, it's a TV show. So I did not get to realize that what I was hoping was not going to happen wasn't going to happen. I had to suffer through thinking that was going to happen. And in this, Trollope straight up tells you, hey, if you're worried about this, don't worry about it. Because that's not how this is going to end. And I love it that he told us that, because I was literally like, at one point I felt like I was physically panicking for this character. Like, I was like, nope, this is not gonna happen, nope. And so, yeah, that was great. And there were new characters who I absolutely loved, like Mr. Arabin, was just endearing. That's really the only word I know how to describe him. He was just fantastic. There's another one. And yeah, I just really, really loved this. And I think that if you like Victorian literature and you like it when authors incorporate history and literary references and mythological references into their writing, then you will love Trollope, absolutely. And also his characters are just very distinct, and even though he does put the reader through some stressful situations, and obviously the characters themselves, he does bring things right in the end, and you'll get what I mean when you read this. But I would recommend, different people say different things about how you can read this series, and I personally would recommend reading The Warden before you read this, because this is technically a sequel. Some people who've read the series say that you can really just jump straight in with Barchester Towers and just skip The Warden, since a lot of people find it boring. But I personally enjoyed it, and it was quick because it was only 200 pages, and it is a lot more I feel like that one is a lot more church politic-y, politic-centric than this one, but I still really enjoyed it. So I would recommend reading The Warden before this, but I would highly recommend this series because these were my first two Trollope novels, and I completely love him as an author. He's now on my favorites list, and I'm so excited because Katie from Books and Things and I are reading Dr. Thorne at the end of the month. We were going to read it starting like the first week of the month, but then I was later in finishing this, and I thought that she had already started Dr. Thorne, but it turned out she hadn't. And then I was going to read the Poldark books, so I was like, hey, since you haven't started yet and I haven't started yet, how about we just move this to the end of the month? Which she was very gracious about. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and this was a fantastic book. Okay, so that's the end of that review. And the next videos I will be doing are my August wrap-up. I'm going to film it next, but I don't know if I'm going to put that one up before this or not. Maybe after. And then also I'm going to be doing a couple other little videos that I haven't quite decided on, but you'll see. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this book, or I hope you enjoyed the book review and you want to read it. And if you have read it, please let me know down in the comments, because I would love to know what everyone else thinks of this book if they've read it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.